God's Spirit blows hope where it will, and our participation in the Spirit does not tolerate any situation or setup in which some people are treated better than others. This gospel carries with it two directions, which are really just two sides of the same coin. For us as a church, the call to open our doors, to welcome all who would come and be with us. Because we know that Christ came for them as much as Christ came for us. God's Spirit rests upon them as much as upon us. We are humble enough to know there is always more light to break forth on our understanding of God's purpose for us. Hearing other people's stories and challenges, how God is at work in their lives, our own horizons can be expanded. In faith, let us respond to God's call to open the doors to people of all races, languages, and nationalities, all genders and sexual orientations, the full spectrum of physical, cognitive, and emotional capacities. In the summer of 2022, it bears mention that the doors open even wider for women who have had abortions and for their partners who have joined them in these critical decisions. God knows and accompanies your suffering. And then the application for us as Christians in the world, the social application of our Spirit-led orientation. Because if we go back to that hierarchy that was forming, despite the clear teachings of Christ, we can understand that the hierarchies in the spiritual realm replicate and reinforce the social hierarchies. Lots of churches today, this morning, you can go hear them. They'll tell you Christ was the most holy, next are the pastors, then are the men, then are the women. And let's not be surprised that churches like that see politics as an avenue to impose those values on everybody else. This morning, I invite us into an alternative vision for our role as Christians in public spaces. Let's be heralds of a civic Pentecost. Let's take the biblical lessons that we have learned from Jesus of openness and inclusivity and apply it to politics. We can draw on the experiences that we have had as communities of welcome to attest in the public realm the importance of diversity and mutuality. Our civic Pentecost is a recognition that God's Spirit is broader than our own congregations or denominations, broader even than just our Christian faith. We honor the conscience and participation of people from other faiths as well. On this day, in July 2022, the season of Pentecost, just a few weeks past Independence Day, I invite each of us here to be bold in our proclamation, to never hesitate to give an account for the hope that is within us, to open wide the church's doors and keep them open even when the gales of hate are blowing strong, to close the doors fast. Let's advocate publicly for values of welcome and dignity and participation, upholding rights of people of color, of women, of people with disabilities, affirming that America is a land of pluralism, and we are all the more edified when our Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, Confucian sisters and brothers participate. God has created us in God's own image. Christ has taught us to honor God's image in everyone we meet. May it be so. Thanks be to God.